All right, let's do another video. Let's start off with SEAC. What is it? C Change International. All right, 28 million float, short growth 29%, market cap 57 million, cash 6 million, revenue 36 million, assets 53 million, stock splits 2.70K%. Insiders 23%. That's not bad. Institutions 35%. No income listed. Debt 8 million, 48 million. Enterprise value. What do? They engage provision, transformation, transformative multi-screen video delivery, advertising solutions, video platform, advertising, blah blah blah, maintenance and support, sales operators, telecommunications company, satellite, and broadcasters. Company is founded by William C. Slinger III on July 9th, 1993. Headquarters in Waltham, Massachusetts. You have 166,000 buys, 27,000 sells. Insiders. NVIV has income 283 million, sales 302 million, 63 million float. And that is not right. I'm looking at the wrong one. That is incorrect. Forget that. 58 million market cap, minus 17 million income, 36 million sales, 27 million float. January 13th, appoints Chairman Robert Pond, Executive Chairman, Board of Directors, search for new CEO. FinViz has a whole list of things. It says here, satellite operators, media companies, serves cable systems. So all kinds of video products, cables, manages content, television, tablets, PCs, video, television, advertising, smartphones. All right, let's look at the monthly. This has been around since 1996. Any splits? You had a reverse split back in 1999. I don't see none recently. And you put a line right here. See if that connects. This is a long trend here. See this? How this connects? Yeah, let's go to the weekly. Bring up the weekly like this. Trying to make it so it's touching. All right, so here in the weekly, you had the reverse split. Excuse me. Dennis came down, the 5 line, back and forth for years, over like 8 years. This was 5 to 10. It broke to 15. Wow. Then it was all the way to 15, crashed all the way down to like 1, bounced to 5. And here we are today with good volume. Let's go to the daily. Take a look at this here. I had a line here. Let me just take that out. All right, so on this wedge, when this thing went up back in May, June, this thing went up huge all the way to January, all the way to 475. Then you see this falling wedge, big falling wedge, went to 175, came down the right to 75 line. Look at this right here, nice little U shape form. Then we bounce 80, 150, then back to 110. Now look at today, 24 million in volume. It's really good volume. And you can see here, we need to break this 150. You had a line back here, here. We got up to 175, but it came back. So this 150 line's big, and then 175 line. So if we can get above that, then we can move on to 2 and fill this gap, maybe to 250 eventually. The low's getting higher though. See here? You have here 80, 110, so that's a good sign. You don't want it to go below now this 110 level, or 1, because then it could drift back. All right, so they had good news a few days ago. That's SEAC. All right, NVIV. Let's look for NVIV now. Vino Therapeutics Holdings, float 18 million, short growth 771%. Wow. Market cap 22 million, cash 7 million, 0.9. Assets 10 million, stock splits 513%. Insiders own 12%, institutions 11%. No income listed, 1.10 debt. They have no debt. Enterprise value, get this, minus 2.54 million. So they're not worth anything. They're not even zero. They're below zero. That's really strange. They operate as a research and clinical stage biotechnology company, engages in developing, commercializing biopolymer scaffolding devices for treatment, spinal cord injuries, clinical development program, neurospinal scaffold implant, which is an investigational orbital polymer scaffold that is designed for implementation the site of injury with a spinal cord. The company was founded by Joseph P. Conti, Frank M. Reynolds, and Robert Langer, January 2005, and is headquartered in Cambridge, Massachusetts. A lot of these companies are Cambridge, Massachusetts. The spinal cord injuries, 10,000 buys, no sells really, insiders. Let's see what FinViz has to say. Income minus 10 million, no sales listed, 19 million float. No news in this since October 26th. They had a closing 15 million public offering. Wow, there's been no news in this. That's really strange. Clinical bio, stage biomaterials, biotechnology, engages development. All right. Companies developing neurospinal scaffold implant, spinal cord injuries. Kind of weird. But everyone's coming out with COVID or something. They haven't dropped any press on that or anything like that. No news for a long time. Really strange. All right, this company's been around 2010. They did three splits, 2015, 18, and now it looks like 20. Yeah, the weekly. After we got by this, we're really been flat. That's good at the daily. Yeah, once we dropped in the split below 6, we've been in a downtrend. Big gap down. You have a 2 line here now. Big 2 line, pretty much hovered. Then we gap down again October. Big gap to this 50-cent line, that all important 50-cent line. And you can see it right here. See this gap? And then look what we held here. That's why on gap downs like this, you're like, oh, it's a terrible stock. Unless it's going to zero, they will bounce. I think 75% of the time gaps will be filled. Look at this. Then we went up, started to fill. And, once you do this and fill it, it's a pretty good profit. See the wraparound, your 1320 EMA, 60 cents. It went to 70, 80, and look at today, 20 million in volume. How come I don't see no news though? Where's the news here? They say anything on stock splits? First gap closed. I don't see anything here. I don't know. Maybe there is news. I don't know why they're not listing it then. All right, so this was the big move down. See this big triangle now? You have a hold of this line. Big gap here, here. Look at this volume. I like this ever since the gap down. You have, that's a sign of accumulation right here. See how these big spikes are accumulating? They know that a downside right now, the stock is better to the long side. Bias is long because you drop that far. You have a drop here to here. Why would you want to hold? Why would you want to short here? It's already been shorted. I mean, it could go down further, but the risk reward is not there. So then you go up. We're at that all important one line. Put in a spike. Now we want to get to 120, and then I'm trying to see here. It's 125, 150 is going to be huge. If we can just start to climbing through there, if we get really good news, this could pop pretty good float. And you want this to stay above, I would say 75 right here. That 75 line, or else you don't want to go back in this triangle here. So on the day, what did this do? The volume, not bad volume. So it's definitely you could trade at this too. But I like here you have the gap filled here, big volume, and then you have a gap up here. So if this comes out with news, or if they're smart, they'll get in the COVID space, something that they can work on, something like testing or something. Like do that in the side of their spinal injuries. That would be huge. I don't know if they have the cash, or I'm just saying that would really boost this stock. All right, NVIV. Let's move on to Boxel. All right, Box Light Corp, 42 million float, minus 3.49 short growth. Market cap 111 million, cash 9 million, revenue 28 million, assets 124 million, stock splits 286%, insiders own 15.9%, institutions 10%, no income listed, debt 22 million, enterprise value 134 million. What do they do? They're an education technology company, develop, sell series of interactive classroom solutions for global education market. Designs, manufactures, distributes interactive projectors, flat panel displays, touch projectors, touch boards. Firm provides features, specifications using pens, fingers, and mouse, which allow teacher, moderator, or student to write or draw images displayed on the surface. Includes schools K-12 and higher education for training purposes, government, healthcare. Company was founded by Herbert Myers, Sloan Myers, 1985. Headquarters in Lawrenceville, Georgia. This stock has many spikes. 186,000 buys, 3.3 million sells. Insiders. It's a lot of sells. Finviz minus 10 million income. Sales 28 million. Float 38 million. Let's go down. See what they say here. They do note software, accessory, octopus software, LED flat panel, mini, the Mimo Studio interactive software. A lot of stuff for schools, education technology, interactive classroom solutions. So a lot of products for schools, software accessories, all kinds of stuff like that. January 13th, Boxlight, Clever Touch fills ed tech needs in Colorado School District. Complete phase 1 rollout this January. So had news recently. And on the monthly, we got here 2017. It was like 910. It's bounced to 17. Then we came all the way down. I don't see no splits on this. And what happened here? Uh-oh. Am I back? Are we still here? What happened to my screen? All right, hold on. My screen got disconnected. Try to figure out what happened here. Everything got all messed up here. All right, there I am. I can see myself. Trying to share the screen here. Are we back? Still recording. Okay, I guess we're back. All right, so a little screen mishap. All right, let's get to the daily. Try to see here. This comes all the way down this line. I can take this line out now. Trying to see where a big move is here. That big, right about here, I guess, was a line. Then you have one right here. See that? This is the ultimate trend line. The ultimate trend line is it's like the furthest most point on your chart. So you don't really have to touch that unless something really changes here. And I'll put on this 50 cents because it did go below a little bit, but you can see here in the daily. See, this was up 11, came back down. This one line, and one line's been very big too. And then 2020 came all the way down, and then went to 50 cents, and we went all the way up to 425. And I've had this wedge form. I can delete that. That was a falling wedge. See this right here? And then look where we're at now. So the move July was very big. Then we came back into this zone, um, right to 125 pretty much. And then we bounced 2 to 125. Look at this. See this rolling move? You have here 1, 2, almost 3, and then we broke above now. Now we're above. It did form big shooting star came back. Now this 2 needs to hold. If this 2 holds, and then we can get over. This is a big trend line. If this is meaningful, we'll see. See it? It touched that 2. That's why it touched it. And then what do we got back here? We have a gap fill to 275. So, once we roll through here, we need this to hold the 2, and then we can start working up. And maybe we can get out of this big trend line and we can start working up towards 253-ish, we'll say. You don't want to go below here. If this goes below 175, it could come all the way to 125. So you don't want that. But this looking like good potential here. They come out with news recently. So that looks good. You can see here the wedge. When the wedge gets smaller and smaller, it's going to break up even further. So it looks like strong potential on the long side. All right, last one. DBVT. All right, DBV Technologies, SA America, float 109 million, short growth 5%, market cap 603 million, cash 253 million, no revenue, assets 336 million, stock splits 2.86%. Insiders 8% own, institutions 47%. That's pretty good. No income listed, 25 million in debt, 170 million enterprise value. So this tells us it's way overvalued right now. Clinical stage biopharmaceutical company engages in the research development of epicutaneous immunotherapy products. Focuses on development of Viaskin electrostatic patch, which may offer a convenient, self-administered, and non-invasive immunotherapy to patients. Also designs a robust clinical development program that includes ongoing clinical trials of Viaskin peanut, Viaskin milk, as well as preclinical developed Viaskin egg. The company was founded by Pierre Henry and Hanamu, Stephanie Hamu, and Bertrand Dupont, Christophe Dupont, and Pierre Yves Veneram on March 29, 2002, headquartered in Montreuil, France. So, immunotherapy products. And insiders, no information. Let's see what FinViz says. I don't have no income listed, no sales, 49 million float. Let's see what they say down here. So, products, same thing, completed. Okay, which has completed a phase 3 clinical trial for treatment of peanut allergies, 4 to 11 years old, developing its milk in phase 1, phase 2 clinical for immunoglobulin medicated cows, milk protein, mediated, and egg, a preclinical stage product treatment of hen eggs allergy, and a booster vaccine, Bordetella pertussis. And let's see, includes a vaccine for respiratory, syncytial, syncytial virus, treatments for Crohn's disease, celiac disease, type 1 diabetes. So they do a lot of these phase 1, they have a lot of these trials, these immunotherapy products for milk, egg, and peanut. There you go. All right. It spiked today on positive FDA communication. So that was good news. And January 7th reporting status and final approval of global restructuring process. All right, let's take a look at the monthly on this. So the monthly, you can pretty much draw a line here. I think we can see a line. Let's hit the nude again. Right down here. So this is a wedge. So there's your wedge here. See this? This was formed 2014, 25. This one up to 50. Then went back and forth, tight wedge. Then we broke out on the weekly. You can see this big gap down 2017, and it fell hard again 2019. Then we went up to a line near 13. Then we came back. And then really tight falling wedge here. Then it's broke above 2. And then the last few days, really strong move. You're up to 6 almost, pull back. This has to break 6 now. If this can break 6, onward to 8, 10, and 12 plus, maybe eventually. And you want this to hold at 3, or else this will go below 2. So you can see in the 5-minute here, from that move, there's a big gap up, the 30-minute. From January 6th, it went up. January 11th, we're holding pretty strong. Wait a minute, was I looking at the weekly? Oh yeah, I was looking at the weekly. That was the weekly. That was my problem there. Weekly. 13. See, we went down 13 from January 20th. Look, it's all the way down, January 2020. And then look at this drop. It's dropped from 13 all the way to 2, and then bounced hard, and we went sideways. Then there's a gap. See, we filled the gap right here. We started to fill in that big candle. Then we moved up. We got sideways. We gapped up. Then we gapped up again. Look at today's gap up. So you're right here at this 6 level. Then you have 7 level. So in this, you're back and forth here. So you want 5 to hold. You don't want this to fall below 4 again. That'll reverse the gap. So caught in between. You're looking for a move higher, and you don't want this to drop hard. That's what I was looking at today's 5 minutes. See, it gapped up way too much. You couldn't trade this unless it's pre-market you're trading. Bounce, tougher trade though. When you see like grindy stocks and just like big massive candles, that's not the best trades. But this looks good. See this wedge? We came out of it now. I mean, you have a gap here, drop here, a gap all the way back to 14 too. So this is looking good long once you come out of that wedge. Bias is to the long side now. All right, so that's it. Please subscribe, Mike Heyman Trade, Stock Twits, Instagram, Mike Frank98, TikTok, Mike Frank III, Twitter, Mike Frank 007. Trade Ideas is on my YouTube, and subscribe to Mike Heyman Trades on YouTube as they come back from the dark. We're out for now. Peace.